again. It's a rich thing.
Welcome back to another video, guys. So I've got some new Born Pretty products. That was a great start, Aggie. So I'm going to quickly show you what I got, and I'm just going to get straight in and do some nails with these today. So I've got a gel polish. This is out of their Silky White series. These are big 10ml bottles as well, guys. So this is like a glitter. Oh my god, it's so nice. It's got like a really small white hex mix, but it's iridescent. Look at that. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to give these a quick swatch as I'm going today. So yeah, this has got a clear base to it, and it's just got a really pretty small cut like white hex with a fine in there, and it's all iridescent. It's very pretty. And look at it over a pink as well. So you could put this over any colour like a topper, couldn't you? This is going to be beautiful for Christmas. Look at that. Imagine that with some white snowflakes or silver snowflakes for Christmas. Beautiful. And I thought I'd quickly whack it over a yellow, just to show you it over a yellow as well. Very pretty. Right, and I also got this. I'm so impressed with this. So this is a top coat that you use for chrome powders, because some top coats don't work. So I'm so glad I can just fling this in my drawer now, and every time I'm using a chrome, I can pull this out and I know it works, rather than keep using different top coats and then it doesn't work and I have to do it again. So you just paint your nail just like a normal top coat, stick it in the lamp for 30 seconds, and that is it. You've got a perfect top coat for your chrome powders. So I'm really happy about that. So that can just stay in my drawer now, and every time I use a chrome, I know I've got this and it works beautifully. It just glided on so smooth, and then you just seal that in with a regular top coat then. I've never seen a top coat specially made for chrome powders before, so yeah, that's a really handy little gel to have in your drawer, isn't it? I like that. And before I forget, guys, don't forget I've got a massive 22% discount code for Born Pretty. It will be in my description box with all product links. Right, and I finally got myself the black and the white pat paints. Guys, I love these. These are just the easiest paints to ombre I have ever used. So black and white are notoriously, they're the hardest colours you could ever ombre, aren't they? When I'm doing my ombres with a sponge, I like to paint the first coat onto the nail rather than the sponge. So I've just painted onto that tip, and I'm just patting it with the sponge side to side, and I'm moving my sponge slightly up and down. And look how much of that gel is staying on the tip. The sponge doesn't soak it up because it's a really thick gel. That literally doesn't even need a second coat. How quick and easy is that? It's so opaque. So for my second coat, I then like to paint it on the sponge, because I can see exactly on the sponge where the paint needs to go then, because I've just used it on that tip. I know exactly where the paint needs to go. So my second coat, I always paint it directly onto the sponge. Same thing, I'm just going to pat my sponge, and if you do your ombre a bit too far up, I did take the white up a bit too far, just bring your sponge down a little bit then. So I did that, I brought the sponge down a little bit just to bring the black a little bit further down. Such an easy way to do an ombre. And this is some of the other pat paint colours they've got. They've got blue, yellow, purpley lilac, and then these two colours are what I ombreed in one of my previous videos. You just can't see where one colour starts and finishes, can you? Really good for ombres and nail art. Super opaque and pigmented. So that is that, top coated. Brilliant ombre for a black and white, isn't it? I like it. Right, so next I got another one of my hard gel, builder gel, extension gel, whatever you want to call it. I call it hard gel. Look at this colour. So it's like a nude, and it's got a shimmer. From what I could see, the shimmer is kind of half of it's silver and half of it's gold, I think. It's not iridescent, not really, but it is super sparkly. The camera did it no justice. Really sparkly little hard gel. I love it. So I'm just going to quickly swatch this, and I'm going to stick that in the lamp for 60 seconds just so I can show you. I love these hard gels to work with. I'm going to use this today actually in a set of nails. So that's it swatched. How sparkly is that, guys? And you're not even seeing the full sparkle. It's so much more sparklier than that. Right, so let's just have a quick look at these. So that was the gel polish with the white iridescent glitter in it. That's me showing you again over the blue. For Christmas though, with snowflakes and stuff, I think it's going to be a beautiful little gel, isn't it? Right, then we've got the chrome top coat. I love that. I think that's just a brilliant idea. That's the thing with Born Pretty. They're so innovative at the minute, aren't they? With all these new products. They seem to be the first to be bringing stuff out recently, don't they? And there we've got the black and the white pat paints. That's just crazy opaque. Didn't even need a second coat. Crazy opaque gels. You do have to work really thin layers with them though to make sure they cure all the way through. Right, and that's the hard gel. So shall we get on with some snails? So quick bit of nail prep. I didn't really have much to do, but I'm just going to quickly push my cuticles back and just scrape away any dead skin on my nail bed. So firstly, you need to start by buffing off all the shine on your natural nail. You don't want your nails to be shiny. You want them to be nice and scratched up and buffed up. So just give them a buff, nothing too harsh. Just give them a buff and then give them a really good clean with a bit of nail prep or alcohol and a stiff brush. So that's them all prepped and ready to go. So I've pulled out some of these tips from SXC. This came out of a polygel kit, I think, and these are just extra long full cover coffin tips. So it's important for what I'm doing to not have any tips that are etched on the inside. You don't want any of them tips that are pre-buffed or pre-etched. The best tips to use for this kind of method is just cheap plastic thick tips. Thicker the better, but as long as they're not etched inside, it will work. So I'm just giving my nails a quick coating of Born Pretty base coat, and I'm just going to cure that in the lamp. So I'm going to start with my pinky, and I'm just going to start like I would do on the top of my nail with a wet layer. Just a small thin coating on that tip, just so I've not got any air bubbles. The reason I used extra long tips is so that I can leave that tip empty and I've got something to hold on to. Because if you're using dual forms, you've got little tabs to hold on to. But with full cover tips, there's nothing much to hold on to. So that's why I've gone for the extra long today. And I'm just filling this tip up with the amount of product that I would use on top of the nail. So just have the thickest part is in the middle where that apex is going to be. Thin at the cuticle and thin at the tip. And you need to make sure you've got this product all the way up those sides, or else the nails will be thin and they'll be transparent down the edges and you'll see the transparent bits. So always make sure that product is right up the sides of those tips. So I'm just going to place this now really gently onto my nail and slide it into place. Try not to press it down or put any pressure on. It's hard gel, it will level itself out. Just slide it into position, and as soon as you're happy with it, put it straight in the lamp. You do have to be a little bit faster when you're doing this method with hard gel. So that's had a 60 seconds cure, and I get my cuticle scraper right up the side of that tip. I like to do this while the nail is still warm, and the tip should just pop off super easy like that, just like a dual form. And that's why you can't use tips that are etched inside, because the tip just won't come off. So always make sure that there's no scratches or etching or anything on the inside of that tip. So same again, I'll just show you doing one or two more nails, guys. So I've started with that slip layer first, just to help me not get any air bubbles underneath. And I'm just going to start filling this tip up again, really thin at the tip, thin at the cuticle area, and the bulk of the product is in the middle where that apex is, where your stress point is. And make sure you get all that gel right up the sides of that tip. Because it's hard gel, it kind of tries to sink into the middle and pull away from those edges. So these bits now, pulling it up the sides of that tip, is what I do last, just before I'm about to apply it to my nail. So again, I'm just going to place it really gently onto my nail, and then I'm just going to slide it as close to my cuticle as I can get. Don't put any pressure on at all, and the second you're happy with it, put it straight in the lamp for a full 60 seconds cure. And then again, whilst it's still warm and fresh out the lamp, if you get your cuticle scraper right under the edge of that tip and just slide it down the length of that nail, the tip should just pop off. So quick and easy. You do have to be quick with hard gel, but you can do this with polygel, solid extension gel. You don't have to do it with hard gel. Yeah, I just wanted to use this hard gel today. So I'll let you watch this one last tip, guys, and I'll do the last two off camera. They're all going to be the same. Right guys, so that is all my nails on and all my tips popped off. So I'm just going to wipe the tacky layer from underneath. There's no tacky layer on top because the tip was there. And I'm just going to file a little bit of the length down, get them all the same length. There's no shaping to do really. Just going to go up the sides and round my cuticle, just where you can see where the edge of the tip was. Just going to get rid of that little lip that you get up and down the sides and around the cuticle area. And I'm going to give them a buff as well and get rid of all that shine, ready for a little bit of extra nail art and stuff. So that is them all filed and buffed, ready for some glitter. I've pulled out one of my new glitters from Colours World. This is TCT 782. I'll leave the link for this collection. This is a collection of 12 and it's just a matte small hex mix, but it's full of gold leaf and it's got tiny little gold hex. I thought it'd go really well with the colour of this hard gel. You can get this collection with silver leaf as well. Look at that. It's so pretty and it's ultra thin as well. It lays really flat on the nail. It's just tiny hex. It's got a fine in there and yeah, tiny little bits of gold leaf. Can you see there? It's a beautiful glitter. I love it. So I'm just going to put a really thin coat of base coat on my pinky and my pointer. So I'm just going to do a little kind of glitter swoosh going up the nail on this pinky. I'm going to put the glitter straight into this wet base coat. Just a little bit of a glitter swoosh going up this pinky. So that's my pinky done, and same thing with the pointer. I've gave that a base coat and I just wanted a little glitter fade coming down from that cuticle area. So I'm just going to push that glitter into my cuticle area and just get it lined up really nice. And then yeah, I'm just going to fade it off, sprinkle it off down the nail, and then they're both going to get a 30 seconds cure. Right guys, now I'm just using a really thick top coat just to get this glitter completely encapsulated and smoothed out. You could use a clear builder in a bottle, or if you've got a thick top coat or a thick base coat, any of them will do. Just so that I can completely encapsulate it and give it a buff and get those nails really smooth. I can't stand lumpy, bumpy nails. So they've had a quick buff over now just to get them really smooth, and I'm using a pink to match the glitter. I've pulled out a pink that I thought was the closest match to that glitter, and I'm just going to paint a French tip on this middle nail. I am using my left hand, but you know something, I am getting better. I am getting better. Before you know it, I am going to be completely ambidextrous. That's the word, isn't it? When you can use both your left and your right. I'm getting better. Definitely getting better with my left hand. So I'm just going to paint the rest of this, guys, and cure it. So lastly, I've pulled out some mocha gems. I'm going to use some of the pale pink ones out of there. I've got some gold ones and I've got some gold shapes. I'm going to use one of these gold teardrops to go with the little gold round ones, and a couple of little metal embellishments. I'm going to use a round one and a little oval one of those little metal embellishments. I've got teeny tiny AB pixie crystals. So I'm going to give these nails a nice coat of Born Pretty super top coat. Cure that in the lamp and get some blingage put on these nails. So I'm just using some rhinestone glue and I'm just going to start applying my gems. I do cure my gems as I go, starting with this little metal embellishment. I'm just putting a rhinestone in the middle of that. Yeah, I do cure my gems as I go. It just makes it so much easier if any get knocked out of place, and it knocks all the rest out of place. And this little metal embellishment, that oval one, I filled that with these teeny tiny little pixie crystals. I thought they were really, really cute. Right guys, I'll just let you watch for a sec and I'll be back at the end. Just gonna fill all these gaps with caviar beads now. So there we go guys, that is then finished. I did actually end up changing one thing. I thought that middle nail needed a gold outline around the smile line, and I think it did. It looks so much better with a little gold outline. I'll stick a picture up on the screen. It just helps tie that nail in a little bit better. Definitely. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. I'll leave links to everything I've used today in my description box. Don't forget to take advantage of the 22% off code. That will be down there as well. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And hopefully, I'll see you all back in my next one. Take care. Bye.